Season imeisha, bro. Season imeisha. Now we are wondering what to do next cause tulikuwa so invested in this shit. But you know, life you happen. GAMEWEEK 38 ndio ile come. Man City wamekuwa crowned champions. A monotony in the making cause bra, ukinotice we didn't celebrate bra cause mbona Man City wanafanya game feel like rigged. They're just too good. Anyway, we are not here to discuss Man City. We're here to discuss FPL as a whole since we started till the end. So I'll briefly just talk about GAMEWEEK 38, how my team performed, and then we look at the entire season. Kila kitu tu hivi tu on a clean slate, react on it, see where we would have made better decisions. Alafu maybe to analyze squad yangu, tuone ni nini nilifanya at a particular time, because the only way to improve something, if you can't measure, you can't improve it. So you need to measure, tuone what are the things that we didn't make the right decisions on, and then you can see how the top players thought, na pia ma FPL pundits venye walitoa maoni zao, and then ujue tuitumie tu as a basis for the end of the season and into the beginning of next season. Once again, bra, ukiangalia channel, thank you to everybody who watched the final match day team selection video, up to 100 of you. So feel free to leave a comment, talk about your squad, and then you can also tell me mali tu nilimblame, mali nilifanya tu maufala. So as you can see, we have 80 videos on this channel, but 65 of them ndizo za this season, 65 of them ndizo za FPL. Making 60 videos plus si rahisi, so show your support, show your love, acha a like so that it's recommended to other people, and then just talk about your squad and everything. So thank you to everybody who's tuned in to this episode. Tingia tu kwa video direct GAMEWEEK 38, tunaona team of the week Dalo and Poro came through. Once again, Crystal Palace showed us how efficient they are at home. E-time season ilikuwa inaenda kusha under the new management, and it feels so good to know that I signed Mateta. Nilisign Mateta kwa hii match ya mwisho just because nilikuwa nishaona stats how he's performing with his home games, and at least Isak also gave me a return, which makes me wish bra siningekuwa nimemcaptain. Once again, watu wa Haaland walionyeshwa bra overpriced stake. Kama hizo points zimekupita. If Haaland scores 4 of them, it means some guys had to blank. And if now Foden scores the 2 of them, it means someone has to blank. Something has to give. Anyway, tulikuwa na ma double digit performers coming from this game week. I want to note Guimaraes ni mse alikuwa na build hii momentum. He got some 16 points at the end of the season, and as you can see from GAMEWEEK 30 there was positivity from his matchmaking, playmaking. Alikuwa anaanza kugather small points slowly but efficiently, grabbing a header, kusupply indirect free kicks, and ukiona hizi 16 he had a 9 at some point, 8, 6, 11 kuendelea hivyo. Now kuna measurement ingine tutaongea kuhusu hapa, but let me just get into my squad. We see how I performed. A GAMEWEEK rank of top 1M. Hiyo ndio my aim manze. If you can rank top 1M GAMEWEEK in, GAMEWEEK out, uko na high chances za kuenda top 500k, top 200k na kutop the charts. I'm glad I was able to finish on a high note, which inamaanisha at least at the end of the day kuna lessons, kuna kitu na learn, na niko willing ku adjust my mind and accommodate new ideas. From the backline, it's only Romero who gave me a return, a clean sheet against Sheffield. In midfield, nilirudisha captaincy to Palmer since alikuwa amenionyesha over and over bro, sijui mbona uniaminiangi. But for the fact that okay, it was a home game, nilikuwa nimemwaminia. But bra, Palmer nakuonesha time and time again why he's him. At 5M tulisema this was just too good of a deal to pass, And I hate that I learned this lesson very late into the season. Up to around game week 20s ndio nilikuwa na buy mse. Hiyo si kwa masa ya kubuy Palmer. Ilikuwa time Palmer was a default, should have been a default in your squad. By then alikuwa ametuonesha mse yeye ndiye ana create kila kitu at Chelsea. And it took a lot of convincing, but as you can see from game week 10 alianza kucheza officially around the 4th game week, wasn't getting proper minutes, and from game week 10 he was getting 90 minutes and he was giving the returns that yani zina justify this boy. And anakumbuka venye alitufunganga this winning goal against Man U. Hapa ndio nilijua boy ni mnasty. Alitoka mid hadi nje ya box, slots the ball into the right side of the post of Onana. Ona akaanza kuget ma double digit figures consistently. Yani hata akikuangusha na kupea 5 ama ka 6. Na akikuangusha sana ni game ngumu. Game unaona kama ni Man City wanacheza against. So I'm sad that I didn't get into him very early on, but you know, it is what it is. Son at least aliweza kupata an assist and one bonus point. Havertz did his thing, bruh. This has been one of my best signings to do, I think, since around game week 30 ama 28. Nilikuwa nimeshaona enough from him kusema okay, he's getting 90 minutes. He's in a working system. Kwanza ukiona play system in a work. The same way Tottenham at some point they had a solid system. You could see what they were doing. The way you'd see Arsenal doing, bruh, Havertz was just a byproduct. And I think FPL might push him to be a forward into next season. Sindio? Now Palmer most likely ataingia 8M, hiyo 8 million range. Actually that's definitely, he's entering the 8 million range. Ninge speculate ataingia 9M, but I don't think FPL make such drastic moves. Wanakuongezeanga tu kidogo kama venye Rashid last season aliperform towards the second half of the season, akaingizwa hii season akaanza at 9M, only for him to end at 8.3, around 8.3. Fernandes blanked. I used my bench boost by the way because sikukuwa na bench ya kuboost the last 3 games and I needed to work on that before using a bench boost, and this was like I had to use it for the sake of using it. Otherwise ingekuwa much more prudent decision to use this bench boost very very early on into the season. And in striking, 2 strikers, wasi wawili top man, Isak, Mateta give me returns. I think nilisign in Mateta and I swapped Zinchenko for Gusto. Fuck, unaona. Actually hata Zinchenko alisabiwa for Gabriel. I think I would have gotten 1 more point. So even if I perform, I'm happy to have gotten what I want, to have learned what I could learn. And as you can see, this is the biggest knee jack. Aston Villa. Indio mana mi uko na beef na Watkins. Watkins has very high highs and extremely low lows. Nilimuza ndio nisingie depression kimaliza season 9. Actually I had him at game week 37 and I think 1 game week before that. Na nikasema boys ananienjoyingi sana. Simalizi season na yeye. Wacha niondoke. Isikuwe ni a scar that I'll have to work with for the rest of the next 2-3 months before the next season. So even ndivyo nili perform, finished at 3.2M. Definitely could use a lot of improvement. Mimi nimekuwa nikiinsist kwa hii season mimi ni top plugger. Mimi I set high standards for myself. I think I wanted to rank top 1M at the very least, because at around game week 20 I was around 1.8M hapo. Until vitu tu zikaanza kushuka, I wasn't making the best decisions or whatever I was doing wasn't working. Hakuna watu wa kublame. What I did just wasn't working and I needed to upgrade my stats. Nilikuwa nahitaji kuboost my XPs, nipewe some new armor. Unaona vitu tu za kunisaidia do some better stuff or some better decisions. Where does that leave me? Iliniacha na some green arrows on my mini leagues. But yeah, that's game 38 for me. Now I want us to talk about the whole game week or about the whole season 2 as a collective, and I have some good presentation hapa, kitu at least some visual cues that you can follow, kitu inaweza tusaidia kupata direction. Anyway, I've snapped a few posts from FPL's main channel on Twitter, and as you can see, the Magnificent 7 and wale wamekuwa top performers of the season when unaona zikiadiwa zote, and I think they come under this team of the season tab. I think most of them fall under this category. So unaona Palma pale mbele at 244. He's actually the most. Actually you boys anaanzisha at 9am. Sijui mbona anasema 8am. Next season tunaanza na Palma at 9am. He got 244 points. Bro, no hesabu. Hakucheza the first 4 game weeks and he wasn't getting good 90 minutes up to game week 10. Na tumetoka kuangalia hiyo stuff. Ndio ujue mseni mbuzi. Na aliingia club. Ujue ashiki club like Man U. Chelsea ina difference na Man U. We are just it's a cow in a blue jersey. So you can see the top performers of Palmer, Foden, Saka, Son, Watkaka, Haaland and Mo Salah. Actually you boys anaweza kwa 12m. Sijui mbona anakaa sijui mbona anaanza 7m, 8m, 9m. Boy anaanzishwa 10m. Anaanzishwa kwa price ya KDB. And so will Foden. Hizi bei zao zinapanda the same way tuliona Saka ilipanda this season, and this is the highest scoring starting 11 in 2023-2024 wakikombiniwa wote, and it's sad because sikukuwa na most of these guys for most of the time. Pickford, I never bought Pickford. Ben White, I didn't buy Ben White. Saliba, I didn't buy Saliba. Na hizi ni vitu nahitaji tu kulearn. Mimi I usually gravitate towards Gabriel, but una learn bro, Gabriel na Saliba could play the same game, but Saliba will be given a maximum bonus points. So easy. I hope these are the things that I can carry into the next season. Ben White did very well. He got some huge hauls, some 20 plus points kwa double game weeks. Palmer 244 points, Foden 230 points. Saka, Son, Salah, Watkins, Haaland. Unaona, I say it tells you who will be very highly priced in next season. And from the top performing FPL player mwenye aliwin FPL, and also some other FPL pundits, they talked about the lesson that they learned. And this is hapa juu ni from the number 1 FPL the FPL winner for the season. He says you need to plan for the long term, because umse alikuwa anasema alikuwa na plan 6 game weeks ahead. Kama tuko game week 5 ana plan transfers zake or his team up to game week 11. He wasn't looking at this shit like, okay, tufanye tu squad iko ready for next game week, and then after next game week we'll plan tutajua venye ita happen. He wasn't like that. He said that he was planning for the long term, preferably 6 game weeks in advance. And then boys, actually no the easy notes ziko hapa down, these are the winner wa FPL. He said he uses analytics, expected goals, expected all this data, and this guy was also playing safe. He was avoiding point hits. Alikuwa na avoid -4s as much as he could, and guess what, he took only 3 -4s the whole season. Only 3. Only 3 negatives. Ndio job boys amejipanga, ndio jue hii game iko na wenyewe, and if you don't study the great, sijui una expect nini. So I found this to be really really eye opening. While I wouldn't really agree with playing safe, mimi ningependa na mini higher risk higher rewards. It's just that I understand his point of playing safe. Make sure you are not making unnecessary transfers. How buy was say just after big performances. Buy players very early on. Catch catch their form when it's early. Mse kama Trossard, time alianza kukua assured of a starting place and he scored 1-2, that was the time to buy him. And then you could also rotate him from your squad. You didn't necessarily need to buy players ndio wachezeshe kila time. Your squad, your bench needs to be healthy too, such that you can rotate within the players. Anyway, FPL pundits walisema plan for the long term, avoid to spend big money on your defense. Yani wanasema tusitumie do kwa kina Trent, Trippier, Virgil van Dijk ovyo. You can get all these points from other players too. And then he says, remember your golden rules. And me, I have like one solid golden rule. Don't buy a player and captain him immediately. Actually, that's the one I've worked with this season. I think I went against that rule only once. I think after nimesign Palmer ndio nilipea armband ama mse fulani, yeah. But my golden rules ni I will avoid as much as possible to sign a player and then immediately give him an armband. And the breakdown is kama wewe ni coach, umesign a new player and then unampea captaincy, what does that signal to the rest of the players? Captaincy needs to be earned. Someone that has shown you that atakupea at least 10 points as a captain. That means worst case scenario, he gives you a double digit of 5 times 2, 8 times 2. Ikienda sana 10 times 2 ni sawa, 16, 20 times 2 ni sawa. But I think the big lesson with having a captain is give captaincy to someone who has given you actual points in your squad. No umezikula wewe mwenyewe. Si ati umesikianga best yako amepata points za mse. Wewe ulimbuy, amekuwa kwa squad yako na amekupea points. Such that if you look 3 game weeks back, 2 game weeks back, okay, I can back this guy to give me at least 10 plus points. Because the worst case scenario is you captain someone, he gives you 2 times 2. Kama uko in a head-to-head league, you don't stand a chance against. Even if you made better good transfers, ule mse mwenye tu alicaptain the right player na probably alichukua -4, he'll beat you. Umepeana captain kwa mse ameget 3 times 2. Mse amepata 12 times 2, 24. Ati ile -4 alichukua, bra, you can't match up to it. So at the end of the day, remember your golden rules. Remember you need to have boundaries with your players. Lazima kunajua what you can take from players that you sign in and what you can't. So those are some of the things that I saw, and I think we can now dive deeper into these analytics. Naona tuko 20 minutes in and I'm barely into this video. So niko na full screenshots of all my game week performances from game week 1 up to 30. This hapa. Game week 1 up to 30. Here are all my results. Something yenye tunaweza angalia from an eagle's eye perspective and analyze. Now nime categorize these into 4 divisions. Game week 1 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 38. And I think I want to say 10 to 20 and 30 to 38 have been my better performing game weeks compared to 20 to 30 and 1 to 10. Now, I've also indicated some important details. Nime indicate the places where I used a chip. Nime indicate zile place nimetumia a chip. So I used my first world card at, okay, wacha to zoom in tutembe so that we to scan to his stuff juju. So I want us to scan these little performance over the top too. When the season started, I started with Fernandez, Trossi, Mitoma, Saka. Backbench ilikuwa Trent, Gabriel, Martinez as my keeper, and then Captain Haaland, Watkins, and Joao Pedro. And then I also had Rodri from Man City. I got some 60 points and the average was 64. So you can see the average points was 64, meaning that nilikuwa low performing. Watu inamaanisha hii points walikuwa napata 80 plus easily, and I had benched Rodri in this instance, so you can imagine how it felt. Kuendelea mbele, I kept rotating this team and I was performing. My performances were mid, bruh. Napata 44 points, time average ni 44. Game week 3 55 points, while the average is at 44. So I won't do the same for every game week. Nataka tu highlight maybe something I did differently ama kitu tu nilifanya. As you can notice, I had Haaland for these first 10 game weeks. Yes, actually nilikuwa na Haaland the first 10 game weeks, and I also had Watkins. Ndio ujue mimi sinanga beef na Watkins bure. Watkins ni msana ananipanga confusing signals na nanifanyanga ni jambe. Hata si realizing once I mentioned Watkins, nakasirikanga cause you boys inakwanga hivi, you either buy Watkins and you stay with him till the end. It's either you do that or you avoid him. Otherwise ukikule mse wa kumbuy after ameperform, ama unambuy time unasikia watu wanambuy, anakudisappointing, atakupea 2 hata atakupea 1, atakufanya nini. Watkins, you either buy him and have him in your squad for the rest of the game weeks regardless of his performances, and then ataperform kwa game how expect, alafu game unataka aperform sana, game rahisi ndio atakubo. So as you can see, bruh, sorry for sidetracking, but Watkins makes me feel some type of way FPL wise. Actually otherwise he's a very very great player. So naona nilikuwa na Watkins up to game week 5. I hope you are following this. Okay, wacha niweke to full screen. Sawa. So naona nilikuwa na Watkins, tulikuwa na relationship poa, nikabuy Jackson ile time alitudanganya, si wote. Pia nilibaingi Chilwell, hii mwanzo kidogo. Mitoma story yake ikadae, akakuwa injured. And I actually started with Saka, which it's something that I'm proud of. Nilianza na Saka since nilikuwa nimepata benefits za Saka, and for a penalty taker, I usually gravitate towards a penalty taker. Now since I had Rodri na nilikuwa nimembench game week 1, nilikuja nikamweka kwa game week 2, akanipea 3 points. Sawa, nikasema nitamcheza bado game week 3, akanipea 10 points. So what happens, it means kama ameshanipea hizi 10 points, I'll obviously play him the next game week only for him to give me a 1 point. Na after amenipea hii 1 point, nilimbench, nikasema bro, hatutaendelea na hii relationship, it's just not working. It's not me, it's actually you at this point. Even ndivyo ilikuwa na Rodri. I think I sold him after that. Yeah, nilimuuza after game week 5 for Alvarez, nika double up on Haaland and Alvarez since KDB wasn't also playing. And then kuna swara za Mbeumo alikuwa hot and cold until injury overtook him. And look, I benched Watkins at game week 6 after playing him for every game week. He was giving me 5 points, 2 points, 5 points, which was consistent. Time nikam bench, akanipea 9. Now this is where things happened with Watkins. When I used a wild card on game week 7, nilimchuja, nikasema nimemalizana naye. In game week 7, he got 23 points playing against Aston Villa. Fuck! Nikasema shit. Simbai, hata fuck, wherever he's at, Simbai. So I got rid of Watkins. Soon after I benched him, got his 9 points. Then I sold him, he got 23 points. And then he timed on nili recruit Bowen, recruited Sufal, and I also tried Walker. And now Nakwahiwa actually in the wild card. In the wild card I also brought in an Everton defense, which is Mikolenko, who also performed very well for me for hii time nilim on. And as you can see from my wild card, I was getting points on the bench, which is something positive. at any point I think your bench needs to be getting points. Bench yako isikuwa inapata 2-0 1-2 wase wako flagged, wako injured. Unataka bench yako ikuwa inapata some points. And as you can see, after the World Cup, I had Raya and Areola as my main keepers, which was a really good thing for me. Raya na Areola, nikiswitch between them, this was working for me very, very well. Then I also had Nketiah to balance my math, since I was doubling up on Salah na Haaland. Ukiweka Salah na Haaland kwa kikosi moja, inamaanisha utahitaji kubuy mse wa 5M kama striker, an alternate striker, and it made sense that I couldn't afford Watkins also. And in my defense I had Porro, Trippier and Mykolenko, swapping him with Lukadin. And that was up to game week 10. Game week 10 I benched Nketiah, he was supposed to be playing from the bench. Game week 10 akafunga hat-trick, kapata 17 points. Same time Trippier me blank. So what? Kwa bench I had how many points? 17 plus 3, 20. 20 plus 10, 30. I had 30 points on the bench. That's why I was saying my bench was healthy at this point. So to get game week 10 to 20, things were happening. Now, anywhere that you'll see this small comment, this was a good performing game week for me, because inamaanisha nili rank top 1M. So hizi zinatokea sina mingi. 1 inamaanisha ni game week 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Only 6 times ndizo niliweza ku rank above top 1M game week rank. I hope you can follow. So in these 3 consecutive game weeks between game week 12 and 14, these were my high performing game weeks. And guess what? Mimi ukanikisema lazima defense yako iko inapatanga points. Hapa sikupata points from defense, but captaincy was with Salah and I had Haaland, which was working very well for me. Hapa game week 13 I signed in Gibbs White, gave me a 12. Had the captaincy on Salah, Haaland akanipea 7. Game week 14 defense ndio ilifanya kila kitu. 6 points Mykolenko, 12 Trippier, 13 Trent. Captain Salah 5 times 2, Haaland 7. So sitaweza kucover kila kitu, but this was basically the trend. So my game week 10 to 20, as I was saying, these were my best performing game weeks. And things went on and on. Wacha nione kama kuna transfer yote ili happen major. I had Gordon and Bowen, which actually these were some good assets for me. For their market value, ilikuwa returns poa. Gordon na Bowen walikuwa wananipea ka 7 ka 8. 7-8 easily. 7-8 easily. Even when Bowen was injured, I played Mbemo or Gibbs White within that time. So mnaona vitu hazikuwa mbaya. But yet my performances weren't getting very better. Na hii time yote unaona Raya and Areola were my main keepers, si ndio? Now there is one thing that also happened. I signed Garnacho at game week. I brought in Garnacho at game week 15. He gave me 4 points. Okay, sawa. Nikamchezesha the next one, give me 2 points. Nikamchezesha hiyo next, 3 points. Nikamchezesha hiyo next, 2 points. That's game week 18. Game week 19, I think he had a double figure haul. I think he got 14 points. Wacha tuone. Lazima ikuwe backed up by science. Game week 19, hiyo game week nilimuza, he got 14 damn points playing Aston Villa. So FPL ukwa hivi. Itakangi tu makasiriko mingi. But damn, did I really need to learn the lesson the hard way? Now, hii kuimeisha. During the same time, after niliachilia Garnacho, nilileta Odegaard. I played Odegaard game week 19. I played Odegaard game week 20. No, nanipea nini? 2 points. 2 points. I play him again at game week 21, he gives me 3 points. Nasema zina, amini Arsenali. namchezesha tena game week 22 2 points. Game week 23 I play him again 2 points. Shit. Ama ni zile za shit. Na hii game week 23 I also signed Olise and Hoyland. I think hii game ya Hoyland, it's the one that you are playing Luton away. So this is where I'm going with this. Nimechezesha Odegaard 4 game weeks giving me 2 points in a row. The same way that I did with Garnacho. Game week 24 I sell Odegaard. I bring in Martinelli. Sindio? Na at game week 24, actually it's ni point. At game week 24, that's when I use my second wildcard, which gives me 55 points. Points ziko kwa bench: Flecken, Maupay, Gabriel. Na nimetoka kuuza Odegaard. Guess what Odegaard does each time? After I've sold him at game week 23, let me search him. Si nimemuuza game week 23. Let me just make sure. I sold him at game week 24. What does Odegaard do at game week 24? What does Odegaard do at game week 24, my nigga? He gets 10 points. So, bruh, check it. Game 23, 22, 21, 20. Nimekuwa nikimchezesha patiently only for him to give me 2 points, 3 points, 2 points. Na nakumbuka hii time bishte yangu pro pia mbaya, pia ameiva FPL. Anaitwa Simon. If you're watching this, sijui kama umefika hii point cause hii video ni refu. Umsi akaniambia, no, na struggle na Odegaard. And at some points, we never really admit how influence works. But when aliniambianga hiyo stuff will send a signal into my subconscious brain. I'm like, honestly, pia mimi, na nimengangana na Odegaard. Juu pia yeye ni a trusted FPL player. I kinda trust his opinion. Si ati aliniambia ati bro, toa Odegaard ama fanya nini. Aliniambia, no, na struggle na Odegaard. I sell Odegaard. Game week 24, he gets 10 points. Na hii time, ati niliswap Odegaard for Martinelli. Na hii time ya hii world card, ndio nilileta pia, nilidouble up on some Luton assets. A very stupid move. Kuna teams za upasi kwenda kuongezea wasi. Ukiongezea mse, ongeza mse mmoja. Ati I was targeting a double game week for Luton, and did Tottenham have? Okay, I think there was a double game week hapa. E24. Luton had a double game week. Sikumbuki team nyingine, but I bought Doughty and Barkley. Na hiyo time nika swap Odegaard for Martinelli. Odegaard game week 24, he gets 10 points. Oh fuck, niko like shit. And FPL ipendangi feelings. Ama maybe ni fluke. Game week 25, Arsenal beats Burnley 5-0. Odegaard 14 points, 1 goal, 1 assist. Game week 26 ana blank. Anasema at least. Game week 27, Odegaard gets 10 points. And so on. So bruh, nimepitia feelings mingi na FPL, but I think it's what makes this game one of the most popular games zenye zinachezwa. Ni games zinachezwa by real players, fake players playing real players. I hope una get. As the audience, you're the fake players, we are playing with the real players when you wako kwa pitch. So even ndivyo vitu zilienda. I had signed Gabriel and I was benching him. Give me 12 points at game week 24. Give me 6 points game week 25, bado zote ziko kwa bench. Then I free hit once again. I use a free hit at game week 26. Nimeleta nani? Watkins. Sinidhizia. Tone amemaliza ban yake, so pia Tone amerudi kwa team. If Tone is back on the team, Brentford performs. Na pia okay, it's a free hit, so it's for one game week. I also bring in Elanga, put him on the bench. But yeah, I get an average scoreline, 52 points, which was not bad. And so on. Game week 27, tunaendelea hivi tu. I also signed someone bad. His name is Mope. Swara kabisa, but alikuwa msee wa kumweka kwa bench. Then on at game week 28 I brought in Solanke and Douglas Luiz, vitu kama hizo. Then blank game week 29, the one which we didn't have many players playing, many teams weren't playing. It was like 4-6 teams who had games. I say wacha nichukue minus. I think I took a minus 12 hapa, and then nitarecoup hiyo minus 12 with triple captaining one man Son. Ananipea 3, ananipea 2 times 3 kama dawa. Fuck. And that's how the season even the season ilienda. A bunch of not very good decision making. Na tukaendelea hivyo. I now brought in Neto as a goalkeeper to play with Flecken. And I think ni game week 30. At game week 31 I sign one person or several persons. I think I had bought Palma initially, but nilikuwa late. Nilibangi Palma naona hii time, and then nikamuza tena after like 3 game weeks. Yeah, short-minded reasoning. Brought Palma back, give me 20 points. Ha! I also bought Havertz around this season, na hii time pia niliuza Haaland. Nilirealize naweza survive bila Haaland. Na pia hii time pia nikaleta Foden. So Foden got 20 points, Palmer gets 20 points, captaincy is on Salah 1 times 2. You see, you can do a good recruitment, but kama captaincy icon the right person, you suffer. Because I think Salah was giving me good returns and I had so much faith in him. But vice captaincy was on Foden. If this is a 20 times 2, brah, we blow up. So I bring in Havertz and anipea 5 points and I follow up with 14 points. Then he blanks, gets a 2 points. Then he gets 17 points at game week 34. Na hii ni a double game week. So as you can see, pia nime indicate where the double game weeks are, ndio tuone how things are going. And at game week 34, I also make another brilliant signing, Bruno Fernandes. I think this was the game we are playing Sheffield at home. Gives me 18 points. By this time, I had swapped from playing with Foden. Since nilinitem ya Champe, Foden anachezeshwa Champe. Foden anachezeshwa Champe, anarestishwa Prem. So I decided to sell Foden, bring in KDB. And KDB gives me results. Palma anafanya mambo zake 26. I also tried the captaincy on Havertz after he had delivered well, and anipea 1 times 2. Only for him to come and get a 17 afterwards. Anyway, bruh, FPL ni merciless. Then I bench Havertz, gives me 13 points at game week 35. On the bench, on the money. So even ndivyo season imeisha and sasa nimemaliza. At least my last 2 games nimemaliza at 80 plus. I think game week 37 almost everyone had 80. So hata hisi kitu ya kuwa proud of. But as you can see, niliuza Watkins nikaleta Mateta na hivyo. That's how my squad has been. I'll quickly rub through my best performing game weeks. Tutaanza na huko nyuma. Game week 38 I get a game week rank of 800k, 810k. Which other game week do I perform better? Game week 30 I get a game week rank of 116k. Top plugger. I had Bowen, Son, Palmer, Captain Salah, Solanke in attack and everything else. Hizi zingine I think tumeziongelea kidogo. Game week 12, 13 and 14. Game week 14 I rank 400k. Game week 13 I rank 600k, and then game week 12 I rank 900k. And then the last of the game weeks that I had also performed better was game week 9 with a game week rank of 800k. So hapa kando niko na wase tu nataka tuongelee very quickly. So I have people who I can refer to as great signings. Actually, tuanze hapa down. Very bad signings, bad timings. Watkins, Chilwell, Aurier, Doughty and Barkley. On the wase nilisign. Yani tu nikilook back hawakukuwa worthwhile of signings, and the timing wasn't even helping. Hata timing haikuwa inawasaidia at all. So these are some guys wenye yani nimeketi na thoughts zangu nikasema fuck. Honestly I say nimewamark. Actually okay, I think nimecategorize vizuri. Above them I have good signings, bad timing, and I think I've spoken about them. I think this was why pia nimepitia hiyo team sheet yote, all my performances. Bowen was a good signing, just a bad timing. I think he would also fall he is also under this category. Sasa nitaongelea. He was also a good signing but a bad timing. Kuna time Bowen form yake ilishuka sana. So him, Odegaard and Garnacho, Rodri and Raya were also good signings who I signed just at a bad time. Raya alikuwa a perfect signing from game week 2020 onwards, or 23 huko 24. He was also a very good signing very early in the season. They were getting clean sheets. See, he was my second goalkeeper around his place from game week 9. From game week 8 I can see he was giving me 6 points on the bench, 6 points if I play him in the game. But yeah, really honestly hakukuwa na the best performances. His best performances came at around game week 2024 when Arsenal were beating people 5-0, 6-0, 2-0, vitu kama hizo. So those are my good signings, just bad timing. Bowen, Odegaard, Garnacho, Rodri and Raya. So unaweza comment kuhusu wako hapo kwa comment box in case unaweza come up with some guys that you can think of off rip in your mind who are good signings that you brought in at a bad time, ama very bad signings when you alikuja hata na bad timing. Now hapa I have great signings, perfect timing. Ariola had him from the beginning of the season up to around game week 20, alikuwa ananiserve tu poa. Trent nilikuwa namuita TAA, alikuwa anapewa bonus points continuous. I think he was prime around his time. Yes, around game week 10 to 20. He gave me 13 points game week 14, gave me 12 points game week 15. Na hizi zilikuwa zinakuja na bonus points by default. Game week 16 they concede, he doesn't assist or do anything, he doesn't keep a clean sheet, but he gets given 2 bonus points. Where was Game week 17 and a follow up 9 points. Game week 18 5 points. Game week 19 8 points. Game week 20 things began declining, and that's why one of the things that I can say unahitaji kulearn, and I think I was also saying throughout the season, know when to opt in and when to opt out. Bro, that's the entry point and the exit strategy. Other great signings who came with perfect timing, Gabriel, of course I've mentioned him. Vardiol nilim sign game week 38 ama ni 37, nilim sign double game week 37, and I was privileged to have gotten his high haul. I think his highest haul ever. Ako wapi? Alini supply na hizi 27 points blank game week 27. That's when I signed him, give me these points, and I think nilikuwa na justification ya kuendelea naye hadi game week 38. Other guys who are also great signings, Mikolenko from Everton, they were getting clean sheets. Walikuwa technically a hard team to beat. Hakukuwa nafungwa virahisi. Gordon and Bowen also come into this category. I think overall they've had a very good season. Fernandez nilikuwa namleta at the best times. Pia nilianza season na yeye nika fall out juu niliona Man U tuko na jokes. Someone else was Havertz, Palmer, Isaacs huko season ikikuja kuisha, and Mateta. Hawa walikuwa great signings, perfect timing. Now ukiangalia tuliongea kuhusu the top performer of FPL, the winner of FPL. I told you he got 3, he only took 3 -4s kwa transfers, na alikuwa anasema yeye alikuwa na prefer ku play safe and that. When I look at my team, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13, actually that's a third of I think 38 game weeks. Karibu, that's almost like a third. 13 game weeks zenye nilikuwa forced to take a -4 or I took a -4. Na unaona hizi ni mingi sana. Hizi ni 13 times 4 ni 4 times 3 12 5. These are 57 points as negatives in, unaona nikizi combine zote. Yes, there is a way that you could recoup them, but si worth it. Ukijipata unachukua kwanza -4 on consecutive game weeks, kama hapa nilichukua -4 game week 30 33, nilichukua 33 34 na 35. That's a very bad trend. A -4 inamaanisha tu haujipangi, inamaanisha tu huko unajipanga in advance. So I think that's one of the things that I might have learned. I also took a -12 once, na in hiyo game week 29 yenye nili triple captain Son na ikaazama, and it's only 3 times that I went without making a transfer. Na target ni that hizi stats zinapaswa kuwa his side. I think ina make sense. I should have taken a -4, maybe a maximum of 4 times. For most of the game weeks, I should have gone without making a transfer comfortably. Let me undo those changes. So I think those are the things naweza sema nimelearn. Now to conclude this chapter, tukimalizia hii video, I just want to go through this slide which was posted on FPL's main Twitter account. Walituambia you reply with your star of the season, the most underrated, kukuwe na pia the breakthrough player, best budget hero, biggest disappointment and ones to watch. So I think before I do that, nataka tu kuona a list of all the players just so that I can have them in my mind, na nisikuwe naangalia wase tu wa team yangu. Nataka tu kuangalia everybody from a blank slate. Okay, Chrisud, I see you. McNeil, ulifanya some job. Garnacho, Johnson, Gibbs White, Trent Shaw, naona kina keeper. Hoyland, Semenyo, okay, Rashihama, Martinelli, Elanga. Okay, I think nime browse. Okay, Muniz nimekucheki. Doku, AK, Robinson, Zinchenko, Sa. Okay, I think niko na some information now to work with. I'll just bring in a text box. Nieke tu wale wase wana come to my mind. Reply with your star of the season. Star of the season. Honestly, as much as I want to put any other names, it has to be Palmer. I think Palmer kwanza ukiona venye alitufanyia as Manu. Na alikuwa amejam. The way they won the game last minute from the corner kick, hata kama ili deflect, I was able to see the things that he was doing. And he also scored us in the beginning of the season. Tukicheza home, mama ni away. I think away. Home, tukicheza home. When tuli concede 2-1. Ama sikumbuki, but yeah, he scored that one goal. I think we won 2-1 actually. So star of the season, I'll go with Palmer. Most underrated. Most underrated. Chriswood, Muniz, Mateta, Olise, Eze. Look at Everton. Most underrated. Okay, I'm thinking of Garnacho, but ni tough kuleta wasi wengine. Most underrated. Okay, underrated Odegaard mbaya sana, si cheza no boy. Most underrated Odegaard. Okay, pia unaweza another option. Odegaard most underrated. Apart from Odegaard, kuna msemo mwingine. I also want to say Gordon was alikuwa tulimunderrate kama ulicheza naye. Next, breakthrough player. I never got to sign him, but but I think Muniz had a run. He had a run of form from Nottingham. Breakthrough player, Muniz, Fulham. That was it. Another breakthrough player. Actually, breakthrough player I'll go with Muniz. Ningetaka kuweka Chris Wood, but actually I would put both of them. Mason. Kuna another breakthrough player, Havertz. Thank you. Best budget hero. The list looks like Gordon. It also looks like Palmer. Ningetaka kuweka Olise, but I'm not really sure where I stand with that. Biggest disappointment. Inamaanisha alikuwa ametupea hopes at some point. Actually I have the biggest disappointment. Nimemkumbuka. Martinelli, you are supposed to have a brilliant season. Martinelli ulini disappoint. Want to watch in 2024, 2025. I think most likely itakuwa Mateta, cause anakuja kukuwa na season fulani ngori. If they start like that and if they play like that, things could happen. So yeah, in your list nimecompile. Star of the season we'll go with Palmer. Most underrated we'll go with Odegaard / Gordon. Breakthrough player Muniz, Wood, Chris Wood, Kai Havertz. Best budget hero Gordon and Palmer naingia of course. Biggest disappointment Martinelli. Ningetaka kuweka Rashford, but fuck, sina hata feelings na Man U at this point. Rashford I don't know. Anyway, hakunipea kitu yote ya kuexpect bigger things this season. And want to watch in 2024, 2025. That's Philip Mateta. And that's the video for today. Najua hapa tumekaa 1 hour. I think this was a worthwhile watch. It's supposed to be a worthwhile watch. Considering we were covering the entire season, it just makes sense. Lazima tungekuwa na vitu mingi za ku go through. We had a lot of dust to sweep, tujue how things are going, and I hope you've learned something or two, or unaweza apply, or maybe hata umeenjoy video just as it was in its rawest form. As usual, I think you should also leave a comment on the comment box with your player of the season, breakthrough player, how wenye tumetoka kuongelea. Nijue kama ni mimi pekee na feel some type of way ama this type of way about these guys. Anyway, this was a good season. Hopefully I'll still be doing videos into next season. Ina depend na vitu mingi, priorities, and if this is a working business model for me, that will play a big role in whether we'll do this in next season. Anyway, I've enjoyed making each and every video. Videos zingine nilikuwa nasikia nimechoka, like there was serious burnout. Like kama hizi GAMEWEEK unasikia GAMEWEEK 29 inaisha leo, 30 inaanza kesho kutwa. Fuck. So I'm happy I pushed myself. I went for what I wanted, and I did what I wanted and found or thought it was cool. Na nimelearn so many things. Since this is not a new channel for me to create, I have another YouTube channel. I think nimelearn so many things, to create a pattern, to create systems, and to stick to it, to be consistent and disciplined even when you don't feel like it. So me nimeenjoy season. I hope you've also done the same, and we'll take this time to take a break, and probably I can also think if I'll experiment with different types of content. Sijui kama nitaongelea kuhusu possible transfers zenye zina come during this ni summer window ama nini, sijui. Hii transfer inakuja, I might experiment with different content, but whatever it is, wajua tu mimi nita follow through and I'll do my thing. And that's it from me today. DJ Live FPL na kwani ni kesho.
Ay, BTL drop, Radika Ruka. I gave her Kichoika Ruka. She gave me inside the Uber. Liambaga was sitting at date nikamruka. Put on my dip when I was a peruka. Kama tumnyambo, I be with my shooter. She is a soldier, she is a trooper. The way that she stay with my stick ndani ya nyumba. BTL drop.